It's Speechmarks time with Miss Aisha. Please listen up. Now, speech marks, quotation marks, or inverted commas are these cute little things you can see on the screen, 66 and 99. And they always go around spoken words inside a story, or a report, or a newspaper. Now, the speech marks must go around the spoken words. Imagine they are containing them, they're holding them in place. So they go before the first word and after the last word that's being spoken. Are you listening? I asked. So what did I actually say? I asked, are you listening? So the speech marks must go around, are you listening? Because that's what I actually said. I must begin my direct speech with a capital letter. What an amazing day, he announced. The first word of the speech is what, so it must be capitalized. Now, punctuation is very important. To punctuate speech marks correctly, I must look at where they fall in the sentence. So if I begin my sentence with my speech marks, I would open my speech marks, start with a capital letter, close my speech marks, and before I close my speech marks, I must put punctuation. So if it's a question, I would put a question mark. If it's an exclamation, I would put an exclamation mark. If it's a regular statement, I would put a comma. After that, I would say who is saying this. At the end of the sentence, I would put a full stop. Now, if my speech marks would come towards the end of the sentence, it would go like this. I said comma to separate the speech marks from the phrase that comes before it. Then I would open speech marks, capital letter, write down the speech, put punctuation, and then close. If it's a regular statement, I will put a full stop. If it's a question, I will put a question mark. If it's an exclamation, I will put an exclamation mark. If you look at these arrows, it's kind of like a crisscrossing action happening. The comma comes at the end and becomes a full stop. The full stop at the end comes after I said and becomes a comma. Now this is very important. When you are writing a story and there's a dialogue between 2 or 3 of your characters, every time someone speaks, you start a new line, even if you've still got room on the same line. Now, I must always include information about who is speaking, and we call this the reporting clause. So the reporting clause in this sentence is Adam screamed happily. What did he scream? I'm going to Euro Disney! Adam screamed happily. So you must give me information so that I can know, or your reader can know, who is actually saying these words. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. Read this sentence carefully and see if you can punctuate it correctly. Please pause the video, try to punctuate it and then unpause. I hope that was interesting and informative. Thank you for listening. Work hard, dream big, focus, and do your best. And I will see you on our next video. Bye guys.